Beneath the shawls, the haunting melodies, and the mystical stage persona lies a woman whose life has been marked by passion, heartbreak, and reinvention. Few know that before she became the bewitching voice of Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks was just a shy little girl in Phoenix, Arizona, singing duets with her grandfather at the age of 4. Even fewer know that she once called Eagles guitarist Joe Walsh the love of her life, or that she married her best friend's widower in a brief union she later described as her greatest regret. Behind the platinum records, poetic lyrics, and magical presence is a story filled with unexpected twists, secret inspirations, and choices that shaped one of rock's most captivating legends. Born on May 26, 1948, in Phoenix, Arizona, to parents Barbara Nicks and Jess Nicks, Stephanie Lynn Stevie, Nicks grew up in an environment filled with creativity and music. Alongside her younger brother, Chris Nicks, Stevie's early life was shaped by her grandfather, A.J. Nicks Sr., who introduced her to singing at the tender age of 4, teaching her duets that would unknowingly set the foundation for her future. Her nickname, Stevie, came from a childhood mispronunciation of Stephanie, a name that would one day become synonymous with rock legend. During her senior year of high school, Stevie met Lindsey Buckingham, a gifted guitarist whose partnership would change the course of her life. The two became inseparable, both romantically and musically, eventually joining Fleetwood Mac in 1975. Their arrival transformed the band's sound and propelled them into global stardom. Stevie's distinct voice, poetic songwriting, and enchanting stage presence gave the world unforgettable classics like Rhiannon, Landslide, and Dreams, securing her place as the mystical heart of Fleetwood Mac. Her artistry, however, extended far beyond the band. Stevie embarked on a hugely successful solo career, producing chart-topping albums that further solidified her as one of the most influential figures in music history. With combined album sales from both her solo work and Fleetwood Mac exceeding 65 million copies in the United States alone, her impact on rock has been monumental. This influence earned her a groundbreaking honor, the first woman ever to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once as part of Fleetwood Mac and again for her solo achievements. Away from the spotlight, Stevie leads a life as rich and layered as her lyrics. Deeply fascinated by poetry, mythology, fairy tales, and the occult, she has collected hundreds of books on these subjects and continues to draw inspiration from them. She keeps a daily journal, a habit she started during her early days with Fleetwood Mac, and loves photography, knitting, and caring for her dogs. Her signature style, flowing dresses, shawls, and her love for the color black has become an iconic part of her identity, embodying the ethereal persona her fans adore. Stevie's personal life has been as dynamic and passionate as her music. Her relationships often intertwined with her career, inspiring many of her timeless songs. She shared a long and turbulent romance with Lindsey Buckingham, a bond that began before Fleetwood Mac and carried into the band's most successful years. She also had a brief but intense affair with drummer Mick Fleetwood during the recording of Rumors and later dated Don Henley of the Eagles from 1977 to 1978, as well as songwriter J.D. Souther. In the mid-1980s, Stevie fell deeply in love with Eagles guitarist Joe Walsh, describing him as the love of her life, though their struggles with drug use ultimately ended the relationship. She was also romantically linked to renowned producer Jimmy Iovine, with whom she worked closely in the early 1980s. In 1983, Stevie made a deeply emotional decision to marry Kim Anderson, the widower of her best friend, Robin Anderson, after Robin's passing. The marriage, born out of shared grief, lasted only 3 months, and Stevie has openly described it as the biggest regret of her life. She later chose to dedicate herself fully to her career, expressing that music became her greatest love. While she has no biological children, she maintains close relationships with her niece and godchildren, who hold a special place in her heart. Financially, Stevie's success reflects her influence on the music industry. In December 2020, she sold an 80% stake in her song catalog to Primary Wave for $80 million, valuing her work at around $100 million. With an estimated net worth of $120 million, she remains one of the wealthiest and most successful female rock artists of all time. Her achievements extend beyond music into her taste for elegance and style. Stevie has owned luxurious properties, including a Mediterranean-style mansion in Pacific Palisades with a private music room and recording studio, and a stunning home in Paradise Valley, Arizona, which featured breathtaking mountain views and a heated pool before she sold it for $3 million. Her love for sophistication also shows in her impressive car collection, featuring timeless classics like a Cadillac Fleetwood, a Mercedes-Benz W113 Pagoda, and a Porsche 911. From her haunting melodies and mystical lyrics to her rebellious spirit and ethereal persona, Stevie Nicks remains one of the most captivating icons in rock history. Her voice has transcended decades, her songwriting continues to inspire generations, and her influence on music and culture remains unmatched. True legends never fade, they evolve, leaving behind an everlasting legacy. Thank you for watching.